Okay, we got a good one today. So basically, for those of you that may or may not know, there's a Twitter. It's a joke Twitter called Menist. I believe it's Menist or something like that. Menist tweet. That's what it's called, at Menist tweet. And basically, it's a joke Twitter that was made initially to point out double standards. The original posts back when it was created were mainly about double standards and occasionally a sexist joke, because who doesn't like a sexist joke? Like, I hear women laugh at sexist jokes all the time. The only ones who don't like them are feminists. I consider myself an anti-feminist, and guess what? When women make jokes, sexist jokes about men, I laugh. I don't go, oh, that's mean. I don't do that. But basically, that's what they were about, and it's kind of become more of a joke Twitter. I still follow it, but it's a lot more sexist jokes. But they still do post some good things, some serious things about anti-feminism, sort of. They post things like how the wage gap doesn't exist, which is true, and a couple other things. But I follow it for the enjoyment, for the laughs. So do a lot of other people, because it is funny. You need to be able to laugh at a joke. Like, a joke has no malintent, and so there's nothing wrong with it. If you get offended by jokes, then you need to chill the fuck out. Seriously. But basically, they posted a tweet recently, and it's a video by someone. You don't know who, because it's literally just the video. And basically, it's someone who went on their back patio, or basically it looks like there's a little stone slab, and then they have the Menist shirt where it just says Menist in red on the slab of concrete face up, and it's soaked, and you can tell it's soaked in probably gasoline or something flammable. And so then the video starts where he just has a lighter and he lights it on fire, and he's like, "Yup." And he's like, stupid, like something along the lines of like, stupid Meninists, like they need to understand. And what's funny is he says like feminism instead of feminism. Feminism is for equalism, is what he says in the video. So his point for hating Menist, which is a joke Twitter, for one, it's not an actual movement. But for two, he hates it because feminism is for equalism. I'm going to look that up right now. I actually honestly don't know. Is equalism a word? I just want to... Equalism. Nope. Equalism is not a word. Equalizes, equals, equalizer, oralism. All right. I didn't think that was close to it, but whatever. But yeah, feminism isn't for equalism, which turns out isn't a word. If it were, then they would be calling themselves egalitarians. Egalitarian is someone who's for gender equality. That's what an egalitarian is. I'm an egalitarian. I think the genders should be equal when it comes to rights. However, that's not what the feminist movement is for. They place a gender label on their position to show that they aren't, in fact, for equal rights. They're for supremacy. That's why they only point out the problems with women's rights. They don't, well, women's rights, or the problems that quote unquote oppress women, and they hunt way too hard for oppressions. Things that aren't even close to oppressions they call out, but that's what they focus on. And they don't focus on the things that affect men, that oppress men more. For example, I hear so many feminists cry about the wage gap, which doesn't exist, by the way. It's been proven not to exist if you actually introduce the factors. If you don't understand that, just Google wage gap. And there's tons of videos on it of how the wage gap does not exist. There are feminist economists who've researched it and found out that the wage gap does not exist. But that's what they cry about. They cry about this wage gap, and so they try to get ways to change that, even though it doesn't actually exist. And what's even funnier is when it comes to, I think it's between like 20 and 30, single childless women make more than single childless men. And it's like 8% more. So 8 cents more. But no man is crying about that because no one gives a shit. Even with that true wage gap, we don't care. It's not that big of a deal. And it's not something that any movement's going to change. But that's what they cry about. However, they never once address the issue that when compared, for example, women spend 60% of the time in prison that men do for the exact same crime. So let's say a man and a woman commit the exact same crime. On average, the man goes to jail for 10 years, the woman goes to jail for 6 years. How come you're not addressing that? I thought you're for equal rights. Now, I want you to know that I'm not actually complaining about that. Once again, I'm pointing out the inconsistencies in feminism. That's why I am not a men's rights activist. I'm not part of the MRA. I'm an egalitarian. I'm for equal rights. But I'm an anti-feminist because I oppose a gender label movement. I guess I would consider myself anti-MRA if it were, if number one, it were as popular, and number two, they were as annoying about it, where they commit all these things where they're just like how feminists are like, don't teach me not to walk alone at night, teach men not to rape. Like basically the dumbest arguments ever that they're going for. And I've covered the teach men not to rape thing in other videos of how stupid that is, and it's seen widely as like the dumbest thing ever. Like you're supposed to take precautions, but that's what they go for. Men's rights, MRA. Not only do I never hear about it because it's not nearly as popular, but they don't go for super petty things like manspreading, another notorious feminist idea that men have to keep their legs closed when they sit down because otherwise they're oppressing women. God, you see, like I said, I'm an egalitarian. However, I would consider myself a feminist I'd consider myself an egalitarian, but I would support the feminist movement for first and second wave feminism. However, this third wave feminism is just disgusting, and I refuse to support it. And I'm an open-minded guy. I want you to know that I've done my research on this. I'm not just like, oh, I'm a man, I have a penis, so anti-feminism. I'm a sexist. I don't want women to have rights. That's not it at all. I have a girlfriend who I love dearly, and guess what? I want her to have as equal rights to me as possible. I want her to be able to go into the workforce as me. The thing that's hard is we have different degrees. My degree is a lot harder, and it earns quite a bit more. But I want to be able to go out when we graduate and basically us earn the same amount. I don't want to be like, oh, you're earning 77 cents to every dollar I earn, even though the wage gap doesn't exist. But I want those to be equal. I want equal rights for my girlfriend and I. But the thing is, in terms of rights, the only thing I've ever seen that feminism is correct about is free the nipple. Kind of petty, but I understand it. And that's not a part of the movement that I oppose. But I don't ever see, my girlfriend would never be shirtless, even if it was legally okay to be. She would never be shirtless. And so basically equal rights already exist. And I see them, except for a few minor things, they're as good as they're going to get in terms of equality. The things that feminism goes for is not for equality. It's for things that either A, are not true oppression, or B, is for more supremacy. Now, I'm not stating that every feminist is like that at all. And even the radicals aren't for total supremacy where some are actually. The scum movement, the Society for Cutting Up Men, is, but that's like a really poisonous radical movement that doesn't generalize the whole feminist movement. I understand that not all feminists are that radical where they have the supremacy or the supremacist idea, but they are, from what I've seen, just so petty, and they have no understanding of true issues. Like I stated in another video, I follow some girls from my college and a couple from my high school back home, and quite a few of them have retweeted and tweeted feminist stuff, and it's all such bullshit. It's stuff that has been refuted as a true problem numerous times. Like the teach men not to rape thing, which is absolute bogus. And that's what feminism does, is it creates this movement that wants to invite girls to join because they want to be like, I want more rights. I want to not get raped. When that's not what feminism does. Feminism takes an issue. I agree, rape is an issue. It's not rape. There's no rape culture, but rape is an issue, just like murder is an issue, just like theft and fraud are issues. But rape is an issue, and the best way to counteract rape is not to teach men not to rape, because men are going to rape regardless. Well, that sounded horrible. The men who rape are going to rape regardless. I was taught not to rape. And I guarantee, unless someone was homeschooled by a very weird teacher, every guy at this university was taught not to rape. However, it still happens. So the best way to counter rape is to take precautions. Just like the best way to not get mugged at night is to not walk alone through dark and scary alleys, but to walk with a bunch of friends or get a ride, not to teach muggers not to mug. That's like the dumbest approach to it. If you want to honestly not get raped, then don't go with the feminist movement, because they address it horribly. They don't solve the problem. They don't even attempt to. They just cry about, oh, teach men not to rape. Teach men not to rape. But it never works. If you want to not get raped, just go Google precautions to not get raped. Get a rape whistle. Learn how to conduct yourself at a college party so that you're very safe. But that goes for everybody. There are gay guys at parties who will rape other guys. And so these precautions, like don't leave your drink unattended, I'm taught that too. I'm taught to not go to a party and leave my drink unattended. I'm taught to not get super drunk and like venture away from my friends. I'm taught these core principles as well, because things can happen to me too. Taking precautions is the best way to avoid the actual problem. Period. End of story. If you complain otherwise, well, that's your problem, but you're not going to fix the issue that way. There are tons of there's lists upon lists of awesome ways to take precaution against like rape and assault and other crimes, and they all are great. I would highly suggest anyone, guy or girl, straight or gay or bi or transgender. I feel like I need to address everybody because I'm for equal rights. Look up these lists. Learn how to conduct yourself safely at these parties. Now, personally, I don't look these up because, for one, I don't drink. That's a personal choice, as well as because of medicine I'm on. Like, it would be very bad if I drank. But I also don't really go to parties very often. I do occasionally, but like, I don't know, partying really isn't my thing. But for the people who are interested in that, just look up the precautions and go look at them and read them. Perfect example, my girlfriend. My girlfriend knows all the precautions, but my girlfriend still likes to get fucking smashed. She likes to get super drunk. And so what she does to take precautions to that is when she goes out to a party, she hangs out with a bunch of her friends. It's usually, I want to say like 5 or 6 girls, somewhere around there. And they all go out to the same party together. And usually one of them is quite sober. And they can watch over these girls and then be safe. And that way my girlfriend knows that no matter how drunk she gets, she'll be perfectly fine. And she has been every single time. There have been situations where something kind of creepy has happened, not rape, and it wasn't going to turn out to be rape, but things where things could have gotten bad. And the friend came in and was like, hey, you know, just come over here. Just, you know, just get away from that guy. And they just stay as a group. And there are easy precautions that make it more fun. Go as a group. That makes it a lot more fun. It's not safe to go by yourself. And so go as a group. And there are just these precautionary measures that make it so much safer for everybody. And precautionary measures are the best way. Absolutely. Just want to end the video on one more example. I get these. I actually don't get these emails very often, but the emails where it's like, I'm a prince in some Middle Eastern country or something, or no, African country. I'm like the prince of Nigeria, and I need to deposit like $12 million into your bank account. If you give me your bank information, like I'll give you like $1 million of it or something like that, or half of it or whatever. And these are phishing emails. What phishing means is they're trying to get your information, and it's most people understand that you don't click on these. So why do we teach don't click on phishing emails, and why don't we teach people not to fish for people's information? I don't hear feminism addressing that. Feminism, bottom line, conclusion, feminism does not support equal rights. The name does. I fully admit that the name feminism is about getting rights between the genders equal, but it doesn't address the fact that the rights for both genders are unequal in certain ways, and that because of the unequalness in certain categories, it evens out, and it's not super oppressive for women in this world. But yeah, that's about it for the video. I can't talk. That's about it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think about what I talked about, any of these issues, down in the comments below. That's about it. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.